Are you happy to take any questions from anybody? Does anyone have any questions of Sarah?
Or did you?
Not too technical.
Stuart Allhouse from SME Gateway. We do a lot of work in federal government, and one of the big problems that we have had is sponsorship at the highest level. We often get that, but the issue is that flowing down from that, there is a gap between the doers and the sponsor, and consequently the message gets lost, and the benefit of having that sponsorship is then diminished significantly. How did you go with your programs in terms of your sponsorship and actually getting boots on the ground?
The biggest achievement for us was getting accessibility built into the design principles, and that's when it became non-negotiable. Before that push where you had the competing priorities, the timeline, the cost, you've got to get this out the door by next week, let's just get it out there and worry about what we've left out later, used to happen. But once we had accessibility put into the principles of the product, then they had to do it. It just became non-negotiable, and that was probably the happiest time for this employee group, was when we got that email that said it's in. So there's no choice.
Awesome, thank you.
Hi Sarah, Alison Burgess from IBM. We've had the conversation about retrofitting for physical buildings. Obviously some platforms that are used by customers or employees potentially may have not had as much accessibility in them as others. Obviously moving forward, those guidelines are in. Any steps around the approach around some of those legacy platforms?
Yes, we have a lot of legacy platforms, which makes life really interesting, especially when it comes to our customers. We have had some not successes, so we've taken things to market that haven't been accessible, and from that we've had some huge learnings. So what we have done is brought our customer base in, and some of our key partnerships, sat down and said, what do we need to do, what needs to be fixed, gone away and fixed it, and then communicated that back out to the customers with a solution that was done in consultation with our customer base and with our partners. But yeah, it's definitely been a few bumps in the road, but I'm hoping that building accessibility into the definition means that going forward we won't have those experiences with the past.
Hi, my name is Elise. I'm from the New South Wales Public Service Commission. I'm in the process of getting an online resource developed, and I've done some consultation in our sector about similar products. The recommendation was that we engage an accessibility specialist from the start, because out there in, say, the training world, not everyone has the same technical knowledge of what accessibility means. So with Commonwealth Bank, I noticed that you said you build accessibility as a consideration into your procurement of services. How do you ensure that all of your accessibility requirements are actually met? Do you get someone like Media Access to do an audit of your resources after you produce them?
We do actually. So for some of our more major online platforms like QandA, we either use Media Access Australia or Vision Australia to do a complete audit. Usually they do one about halfway through and say, where are the problems? And they say here, here, and here. We go away and fix it, and then before we go to market, we say, how does it look? You know, so you've still got an issue here, and then we'll fix that spot. But with external providers, we'll ask them to do the audit and prove to us that it is accessible before they give us the product. And we build that into the contract as part of it, so it's part of what they have to provide to us. And if it isn't accessible, we find out it's accessible, we go back and we say, you said it was and it's not, fix it.
Todd Wright here from IBM Australia. The next thing that's not always, sometimes isn't the best thing, I have a comment and a question regarding digital development. Your presentation was talking about supporting our customers, also thinking about technologies for employees as well inside your company, so internally. So sometimes it's more popular and cheaper to provide support for staff through a user-generated content where we add wiki pages internally, and that leads to new issues as well. How can we make sure that that information is accessible if it's not created in the first place, other people are creating it? So that also connects to that popular use of videos, so online videos, maybe from executives giving, an information session regarding staff. For me, that's a major barrier because they're not captioned, they're just made internally. So how can you ensure that that level of access is preserved for that information is being developed internally by staff members and is not made by a certain department?
That's a tough one. PDFs, PowerPoints, videos, we would have hundreds that aren't accessible. And it's a matter of drawing a line in the sand. We can't go back. Let's go forward. And one of the things we found was our e-learns. We have a lot of mandatory e-learns that need to be done by every staff member by a specific date. And we just did this massive audit and determined some of them weren't accessible. We've gone back and fixed them. It's a slow, long process. But captioning is the next wave. PDFs, PowerPoints. It's building that mindset into people to stop and go, hang on, can everyone see this, view it? No, they can't. Let's add that into it. And that's why we believe that really importance of building the understanding and the awareness through our expos and through the Enable group starts to raise the profile of the need for this across the bank. We're always going to have some people that will never get it, but hopefully over time, you'll see that increase. But I recognise that the vast majority of internal videos aren't captioned, and hoping that as we move forward, that it's something that we make a priority.
Could I just add just something to that, because one of the things that Media Access have been doing largely for media organisations who produce a lot of video content is a video accessibility assessment. And we've done one recently for a university where who create heaps of video content, whether that's by acquired or procured content, or academics or students themselves. And what we've aimed to do is actually kind of create a decision-making tree or a triage process, so that the university, regardless of or irrespective of whoever the person is, can make a decision on how to get the information or the video material captioned, so whether by a professional or by the university's internal student service that transcribes and captions content, or if the video audio-visual content can be captioned by the user themselves. So if it's under 5 minutes, there's instructions and information that's provided, so there's encouragement for people to provide the captions themselves. So that's another way of just providing some guidance or developing a practice for organisations to manage that vast amount of video content that they may be producing. Okay, all right, well, we'll get on with the next part of the session. Have we got time to do? Yep, fantastic, okay. Thank you, Sarah, thank you very much. Thank you.